Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Unscripted Reviews, and this time we're looking at Godhood. Now, despite its name, it's not really a god game. Now, granted, you play a god or you make a god and play as them, so on and so forth, and you create a religion with traditions and tenets, but all based around this god, all that stuff, but it's not really a god game in the gaming category sense. No, this is more of a auto battle of sorts with what I'd call a legacy system. To me, it feels like a really long drawn out version of other roguelites. So, Rogue Legacy, Hades, that sort of thing. Every time you die and such, or as the game progresses, you get stronger overall. The metagame progresses. In Godhood, you're given a finite amount of resources and time to build up your followers, to train them, to create buildings that will make them stronger or give you more resources in the long run, that sort of thing, special abilities. And after they're all built up, they get to these little fights, and they can fight either with words trying to convert the enemy, or they can literally fight and beat each other up. You're not just trying to fight them to get stronger or fight them for resources. You're trying to fight them to win over the people, because at the end of the day, a religion needs followers, people to worship you and such. The actual gameplay for the battling side of things is kind of simplistic. You don't really do anything. It's auto battler. So once again, once all the pieces are in place, you're done. You just gotta wait things out. Sometimes it's based on luck, so because certain things have a certain percentage chance to hit and such. The most decision making you, make is to figure out who fights who, or who goes into what battle. So when you line them up 3 against 3, you can choose certain elements which would do better against certain enemies and such like that. Before each battle, you can also make the individual battles a bit harder using a mechanic called martyrdom. Martyrdom? I'm not entirely sure how it's pronounced, but point is, you can make it harder on yourself in exchange for a reward if you win. Anyways, the thing that's interesting about this game is that your people, your cultists, your religious worshippers, whatever you want to call them, do grow old, and as they do, they get different effects. So young ones get more experience points, the middle-aged folks do more damage, and the older folks are just overall weaker. However, because the older folks have experienced the most things, they're likely to be your highest level characters, and thus you end up using them quite a bit. That said, you can still build upon them. Like, you can build buildings that'll increase like how much health your characters get every time they get health, or how much strength they get every time they do get strength, that sort of thing. You can buff how much experience points new acolytes get. The point is, the newest generations are always going to end up stronger than the generation before them if you're doing the right thing. So sometimes you actually want your eldest disciples to go the way of the dodo a bit early so that the younger ones can replace them sooner. Now, depending on your religion and how it works, different stats will be, favored, and different strategies will be better than others. So what you're looking on at screen right now is a god of madness who loves cats, loves doom, secret societies. We're essentially making the internet in religion form. They worship the cats, they have a secret society, like I said. They're all based around knowledge and charisma, and yes, I know, people on the internet aren't necessarily always intelligent and charismatic, but you do at least need intelligent people to keep the internet working, and sometimes the charisma is based off, individual specific members, aka the main fighting disciples. The followers are just the followers, kind of analogous to YouTube now I think about it, but let me not insult my entire viewer base by just calling them that, and the associations and implications and all that such. You're all amazing, just so you know. So, gameplay-wise, what is it? It's a turn-based management sort of game. The turn-based stuff isn't too obvious. Like I said, based on the perspective, it looks like a management type game, which it technically is, but you only get a certain amount of actions before you have to go to each battle. That's how the game/turns are broken up. They're based on, you pick a battle that you want to do, then you prepare for it, then you do the fight. You can't stall it or anything like that. You have to do the fight. And then after that, you have to choose another fight another path, and then you get to manage your city and followers again. You tell them how to worship you, which will increase different stats. You can give them more fervor. My goodness, I can't speak English at all. Point is, they get stronger somehow, one way or the other. And then after they've gotten stronger, they can keep doing better fights. You can do optional bosses, whatever you want. Now, do I recommend Godhood? And the answer is yes, if you're into that sort of thing. If you're into raising up certain characters, like raising Pokemon or Digimon or whatever, and watching them battle each other, and creating a story in your mind of, oh, this guy's amazing, he's going to be the best person ever, and I'm going to watch them grow, and eventually grow old, and then die, and I'm going to raise the next generation, so on and so forth. You're going to love Godhood. But it is a bit of a slow burn. I wouldn't say you start out weak, because you can start the game and just obliterate everyone and keep obliterating stronger and stronger enemies based on difficulty. But it is still a satisfying growth to watch and, help grow stronger in and of itself. But it's certainly not a traditional God game. The biggest endorsement I can give this game is that time just runs away when you're playing it. And if you're playing with an audience, live streaming it or whatever, it's great to get people's input and create these wacky traditions and little stories behind them. For example, my friend wanted me to have our dudes worship cats, so we did that, and every now and then the cultists actually worship cats, and it's kind of great. Eventually, however, adding onto the cats, we also had our worshippers really like the idea of evil, and one of the cultists, one of our top disciples, basically came out and said, yeah, be evil, kick dogs, mock cats. And the guy who was watching it with me basically paused and said, wait, mock cats? And then we had him killed. We just sacrificed him and all that stuff. And it was hilarious. Godhood isn't a game which you follow for the story itself. It's got one, and I won't really spoil it in case anybody's that interested in it. I personally don't think it's amazing. It's fine, it's functional, it does its job, but the main story that you're going to love and follow are the stories that these individual characters make. And it's great. It's like XCOM in that regard. You don't play XCOM specifically for its story, you play it because of the story it makes for each individual person, each individual player. Everyone's going to have a slightly different experience, and it's going to come out with a fantastic story each time. That's what I believe Godhood, the game, is about. It creates stories. So, for those of you who do play Godhood or are planning to play Godhood, please share your stories in the comments below. Like and subscribe on this channel, and I appreciate everything you've done for me. Bye-bye.